Tonight, our region prepares to sizzle with the first heatwave of the season upon us, and a Broken Hill company gearing up to help develop the next generation of electric cars.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with Ruby Kamain begins now.
Good evening. Summer is fast approaching, with scorching temperatures expected over the next few days. As residents prepare to soak up the sun, they are also being asked to remain vigilant, with the hot weather increasing fire danger.
It may be the last week of spring, but summer will be arriving early over the next few days.
Port Augusta, for instance, 44 on Friday and 46 on Saturday, so certainly extremely warm conditions, and similarly mid-40s for Whyalla on Friday and mid-40s for Port Pirie on both Friday and Saturday.
High minimums expected to linger throughout the night.
So we're looking at minimums anywhere from between about 23 at Whyalla, 24 at Port Augusta, and when we look at Port Pirie, 23 as well. So we're looking at the low to mid-20s, and that's the lowest.
The CFS also warning hot weather brings an increased fire danger.
Cleaning gutters, making sure anything that's flammable from around the house is removed from the side of the house. Any dead vegetation from around the building, making sure all that's removed from the property.
Residents are reminded to stay vigilant and be alert over the next few days, with temperatures across the region expected to reach record highs.
For November, it's really quite close to records. Probably more likely on Saturday, and looking at possible records, say around Andamuka or Maree.
But there is some relief on the way.
So a change coming through during the afternoon and pushing further inland overnight. So the last of the hot days will be on Saturday.
Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Golf News.
A new move from South Australia's government will see all COVID cases in the state transfer to a dedicated facility. The new site will be patrolled by police and the Australian Protective Service in a bid to crack down on the COVID outbreak. The old Wakefield Hospital has been earmarked for the potential site. No new cases were recorded today. There is a total of 29 active cases related to the Parafield cluster. Electric vehicles are becoming increasingly popular in Australia, and Broken Hill could soon play a role in the revolution. Mining company Colbert Blue is planning to mine and refine an essential car battery component near the city.
We're told electric cars are the way of the future, and there's a key ingredient found right here in Broken Hill.
Cobalt's a embedded part of the cathode, which is one of the battery components.
Cobalt Blue's plan is to not only mine but refine the valuable mineral here. It would then be sent overseas to be built into lithium-ion batteries like those used in electric cars.
It means that we can create for battery makers a chain of custody from in the ground all the way through to a battery-ready product.
Refining cobalt here will reduce shipping emissions and be more ethical than sourcing it from overseas. The company will begin digging for samples in January, but we're still a number of years away from full production.
So we're looking at about 400 full-time equivalent jobs.
Electric vehicles are expected to outsell petrol engines by 2030 as they become more efficient and affordable.
Their performance off the line is better than petrol engines. Some of the fastest cars in the world now are electric.
The Silver City jump-starting the future of motoring. Lachlan Itter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
The federal government's program aimed at improving mobile reception in remote areas has opened for another year. The new round of funding will focus on improving mobile coverage along major transport corridors and in disaster-prone regions.
Keeping people connected during times of emergency.
Very pleased to announce that we're opening round 5A of the mobile phone BLACKSPOTS program. We had a little bit of unspent money in round 5 and now we're going to stretch that out further.
It's the focus of the new program, which follows the release of the Regional Telecommunications Review. The aim is to deliver mobile services to remote locations. To date, the program has co-funded 49 new towers across the Grey electorate.
This round, 5A, we're looking for local organisations, councils, to actually engage with the telcos, tell them where you want the sites.
Tumby Bay has also previously received funding, installing 2 mobile service towers. But the town's mayor says there is still a long way to go.
Still definitely spots where the service isn't adequate, and the expectation these days from business and from personal use is that you are going to be accessible wherever you are across the country.
The last round of the Mobile BLACKSPOTS program delivered 10 sites to the area of Grey, valued at $2.6 million, with the federal government contributing more than $1 million of that amount. Applications for this additional round close on the 10th of February. Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
2 sports clubs in Broken Hill are asking council to waive their fees for using the Memorial Oval this year. The Central Football Club and Harness Racing Club both say they haven't been able to utilise the facilities to the normal extent because of COVID-19 restrictions.
The AFL in Broken Hill hasn't had one game last year, so all clubs are suffering, and it says a lot of people in Broken Hill at the present stage.
Council will make its decision at tonight's meeting. Still to come tonight, Whyala's new multi-million-dollar jetty wins praise, and a Port Augusta training centre takes its program to new heights. Welcome back. Records have tumbled at Port Lincoln's Viterra silos, with more than 13,500 tonnes of canola, barley and wheat being delivered. Teaport's lock facility also breaking records, beating its previous best by more than 400 tonnes. Canola and barley have made up a majority of the deliveries, but wheat is starting to be deposited. Across South Australia, more than 2.6 million tonnes has been delivered to Viterra silos this season. One of the last prescribed burns for the season has been undertaken near Coffin Bay today. More than 46 hectares was burnt in a bid to create a buffer zone for the local township. Walking trails were closed and speed limits around the area were reduced. It's the 3rd prescribed burn in the area this season. Whyala's new jetty is continuing to attract widespread attention, winning a renowned South Australian Engineering Award. The honour recognising excellence in the innovation of public works projects.
It's another win for Whyala. This iconic jetty taking out the Engineering Australia's prestigious Best Public Works project in South Australia in the over $5 million category.
It's surprising, it's a big relief, very proud.
The group presents annual Excellence Awards, recognising the detailed work involved in large-scale public projects. Nominations are judged on innovation, development, construction and management aspects. Council gathering on the jetty today, celebrating with a Mexican wave.
This is a fantastic achievement to win this award for the City of Whyala.
Since opening, the jetty has been enormously popular, attracting out-of-town visitors with its distinctive design and state-of-the-art features. It's also proving to be an economic boost for the city, with council data showing locals and tourists are visiting the structure in their droves.
We've had over 30,000 people visit within the first 2 months. We're averaging around 700 visitors a day.
The structure is now in the running to win the Best Public Project across the whole of Australia.
It's unique worldwide, so on a national stage hopefully we should perform well, and it's a good chance for Whyala's brand to be out there.
Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Crystal Brook's Main Street is being transformed, replacing Bowman Street's bollards, picnic settings and benches. Business owners say the upgrades make the town a more appealing stopover for travellers.
The streets are starting to brighten up in Crystal Brook.
So much work being done in our main street. It's so lovely after such a long time of nothing.
It's actually been really great lately to see the council come and put the new bollards up out the front. The old ones have been there for a very long time and we're starting to look a bit tired.
The improvements are part of a joint initiative between council and government.
Places for people from the state government and Drought Communities program from the federal government.
The local newsagents will apply for a shopfront improvement program, with owners attending a community consultation last week.
Bit of paintwork done as well, some veranda work, so yeah, just a few improvements out the front, and also looking at wheelchair access.
Some shops might only want some paint, but some shops might want their verandas replaced. So what we're trying to come up with is a bit of a scheme where we can manage that.
This busy local cafe is back in business following a challenging few weeks. Owners hope the renovations attract more travellers through the town.
Come and see what's happening in Crystal Brook, the new street, the shops, everybody's on board with it. It's lovely, there'll be new seating and it's comfortable.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Port Augusta's Access Training Centre is heading into the next phase of its growth. It's hoped the expansion will bring more courses to the table, helping boost employment opportunities across the city.
There was plenty of action on site today as students took part in a program now offered in Port Augusta. Entering its second stage of expansion, the city's Access Training Centre hopes the extension will deliver more courses.
Expansion is going to allow us to increase the volume of courses that we run here in Port Augusta, and it's also allowing us to have more external clients using the facility.
Traditionally offered in Adelaide, this dogging course is part of the plan to boost local employment opportunities.
To be able to offer that here for locals from across the North or South Australia, it is a huge bonus for employers and job seekers.
Industry leaders recognising the importance of locally accessible courses.
It would be very important because you can keep the local people here and employed, saves them looking for work elsewhere.
And there's new opportunities on the horizon.
The expansion of our practical area is also going to allow us to have a provider come to Port Augusta to deliver training specifically for the wind farm industry.
Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us, we'll check the latest fuel prices from across the region. And school leavers set to receive vital information for the next stage of life. Hello again. The member for Grey has released his annual school leavers book, aiming to help Year 12 students who have just finished their studies. The book offering a range of advice for those embarking onto the next phase of life.
Starting the next chapter of their new life, Year 12s are done and dusted. They're now anxiously awaiting their results as they prepare to enter study or the workforce. Rowan Ramsey has created a school leavers manual helping answer the big questions.
It covers off on a lot of issues that kids and families don't even think about. Like it tells them what is the pathway through to get independent youth allowance, for instance.
As well as focusing on study pathways, it also offers advice on living independently.
You know, if you're moving to Adelaide for tertiary education, how do you go about renting a place? How do you make sure that you've got friends that you can rent with, that you can trust?
It's been a tough year for school leavers, with COVID-19 restrictions causing chaos. And while schoolies may be cancelled, Mr Ramsey is urging graduates to remain positive about the future.
It's one of those times in life where a lot of things change for students. It's also a very exciting and positive time. I mean, things can go wrong, but things can go fantastically right.
For more information, contact his office. Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Broken Hill and Port Augusta have been included in a limited edition Monopoly board. The game showcasing towns and cities across the country which have been hit especially hard by bushfires and COVID during 2020. The Australian Community Relief Edition was released today, with $5 from each game to be donated to the Australian Red Cross. It's also hoped travellers will be motivated to visit our region after seeing the two cities on the game. Three-time Melbourne Cup winner Kerrin McAvoy is set to be immortalised in his hometown of Streaky Bay with a life-size bronze statue. Port Lincoln sculptor Ken Martin putting the final touches on the project, set to be unveiled in the new year.
Tucked away in his Port Lincoln workshop, Ken Martin is hard at work, sculpting one of the nation's top jockeys.
The detail is in the final stages with only a week or two to go.
The bronze sculpture honouring three-time Melbourne Cup winner and Streaky Bay local Kerrin McAvoy.
Kerrin's very, very pleased with it, and he'll have a look at it before the final details are done, and then away we go from there.
More than $118,000 was raised for the sculpture, partially funded by the state government. It's said to be installed on the Streaky Bay foreshore.
It's a privilege to have it here in Streaky, and we'd like to thank all the people that got behind it to have this done.
Ken says attention to detail is everything and admits the design's been through a few modifications.
The expression, for argument's sake, has changed from that more serious side, because he's a very focused man, to quite a celebratory smile.
After a 2-year hiatus, the sculpture is in its final stages. A silicon mould will soon be taken, then liquid metal will be poured in before it's welded together in Melbourne.
It'll be in varying shades of bronze, through those light golden colours right through to the black in the boots.
Despite a few COVID hiccups, it's set to be unveiled at March's Streaky Bay Cup.
I think it'll be a real draw card for Streaky Bay, I really do.
Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Time now to take a look at what's happening when we head to our local petrol bowsers. Here's Lachlan Itter with this week's Fuel Watch.
As South Australia emerges from its lockdown, the good news is fuel prices have remained stable over the last week. Starting with unleaded, and only 2 centres had any changes. Port Lincoln has seen a minute increase up to $1.16.6 a litre, while prices in Adelaide have dropped by 5 cents to $1.05 a litre. Whyalla and Port Pirie are both around the $1.16 mark, $1.19 for Port Augusta drivers, and Broken Hill remains the most expensive place in our region, sitting at $1.24 a litre. There's much more variation when it comes to diesel, but again, only small differences. Port Lincoln, Port Augusta and Adelaide seeing slight increases, while prices have dropped in Kadina and Whyalla. Port Pirie remains stable, just shy of $1.15 a litre, the cheapest price in our region. On to Autogas now, where Port Lincoln and Whyalla have seen jumps. Some outlets in Port Lincoln selling for around 92 cents and almost $1 in Whyalla. Prices also increased slightly in Port Pirie, but overall it's relatively stable across the rest of the region. Remember that these prices are the regional averages and do not reflect any one particular outlet. And if you do spot unleaded, diesel or Autogas cheaper, be sure to let us know on our Facebook page.
Stay with us after the break. Port Augusta Council launches its Christmas lights map, and we'll have the weather details with Alex. Welcome back. Port Augusta residents are being invited to light up and shine this festive season by registering to be part of a Christmas lights display map. The council initiative aiming to make Christmas extra special this year. Locals are encouraged to light up their homes, yards, businesses or shop fronts. Registrations are due by December 1. Time now to take a look at what's happening in the weather. Here's Alex Sykes.
Thanks, Ruby. Temperatures remained hot today as the region is in the grip of a heat wave, which will continue well into the weekend. From 3 p.m. today, Port Augusta 37 degrees, Port Lincoln 36 and Cleve 33. Woodner 38 degrees, Cooper Pedy and Whyalla both reached 36, 35 in Port Pirie, and Kadina and Adelaide both 33 degrees. Looking at the satellite image now, mid to high level cloud in the northwest with a trough and upper level moisture is causing the odd thundery shower. Skies are clear elsewhere due to a transient high and a dry and increasingly hot air mass. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. North to northeasterly winds which will shift in a southerly direction in the afternoon and reach speeds of up to 20 knots. Seas will be around 1 metre with south to southwesterly swells just peaking above 1 metre. Looking at tomorrow's forecast now, and conditions will be generally sunny and hot owing to that current heat wave we're experiencing. Port Lincoln 24, Cleve 28, Woodner 40 degrees. Whyalla will have a max of 32, Port Augusta 39 degrees, Kadina sunny and 33. Port Pirie 36 degrees, 34 in Clare, and Broken Hill 37. Taking a look further through the week now, and more extreme temperatures are expected on Friday. 42 in Cooper Pedy, 44 for Whyalla and Port Augusta, 45 degrees in Woodner, and tops of 40 for Kadina and Adelaide. Windier conditions will emerge on Saturday in conjunction with hot temperatures. 46 degrees for Cooper Pedy and Port Augusta. Woodner will reach 45, 44 in Port Pirie and 40 degrees in Whyalla and Adelaide. On Sunday, those hot temperatures should begin to ease slightly. Cooper Pedy will have a max of 39, 37 for Broken Hill, 27 in Whyalla and Adelaide. So Ruby, there'll be a bit of relief on the way from all this heat by the end of the weekend. I hope everyone can have the proper precautions and stay cool where they can. That's all the weather from me tonight. It's back to you.
Lovely, thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news this Wednesday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later. Until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.